The Young and the Restless spoilers for Tuesday, February 11, reveal that Diane Jenkins Abbott will go rogue while Victor Newman offers a matchmaker defense. Nick Newman also seems poised to deliver a warning, so let's talk about what's coming up on Tuesday's I and R episode. First, Diane will take charge of a situation, so this may involve her mission to spruce up the Abbott mansion. Although Jack Abbott hasn't agreed yet, Diane may draw up all her plans and deliver a presentation anyway. That could end in disaster if Jack doesn't like what Diane comes up with, or he could be pleasantly surprised if she keeps the spirit of the Abbott house intact. Of course, it's also possible Diane will go rogue in a different way. Diane might walk in on a close moment between Summer Newman and Kyle Abbott, since they'll be helping Harrison Abbott with his homework. That could lead to Diane derailing things, especially if she tells Harrison that she can help with his diorama instead. Diane might play up her architect roots and break up all the family bonding by stealing Harrison's attention. In other words, Diane may intervene when she sees Summer and Kyle getting too close for comfort. It could be Diane's way of trying to protect Kyle's relationship with Claire Newman, since her son's been happy and stable lately. As for Victor, he'll face Nick's warning about playing matchmaker for Kyle and Summer. Nick probably won't want Summer going down that romantic road again, and he definitely won't want Victor interfering. Victoria Newman may gripe to Victor later as well, but he'll defend his desire to do what's best for all his children and grandchildren. In this case, Victor may feel like it's inevitable that Harrison's parents will reunite. Perhaps Victor will argue that it's better for Summer and Kyle to get back together now, before Claire falls any harder. Next, Nate Hastings will get stuck in the conflict between Amy Lewis and the real Damian Kane. It looks like Damian will get updates on the whole truth, including Amy's leukemia and Nate's half-brother status. Despite Nate's attempt to help Amy and Damian patch things up, Damian will have a negative reaction to all the shocking news. We'll see Damian act like Nate is a scammer, but Amy will defend Nate and explain how everything went down. The Young and the Restless spoilers hint that Damian will remain frosty for now, but Nate may make a prediction about helping Amy win her son back. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. The Young and the Restless recap for Monday, February 10, reveals that Kyle Abbott will cancel on Claire Newman for Summer Newman, while Sharon Newman surprises Chelsea Lawson and Adam Newman. At home on Monday's I and R episode, Adam will complain about Connor Newman eating all his favorite chips, but Chelsea will admit she's the chip thief instead. Chelsea and Adam will share a fun moment, but things will get awkward when Sharon arrives to welcome her new neighbors. Sharon will hand over a quilted throw as a gift, before admitting she wasn't sure whether to give one or two. Chelsea will make it clear that she's not a couple with Adam, and that she only moved in for Connor's sake. Once Sharon insists she's doing better after her horrible ordeal, she'll praise Nick Newman for all his support. After Sharon leaves, Adam will chat with Chesley about how Sharon gushed over Nick. It'll leave Adam wondering if Sharon is developing real feelings for Nick again. At Society, Victoria Newman will admit to Nick that Victor Newman seems awfully morose after his close call with Ian Ward. However, Nick will make positive predictions about the future and try to ease Victoria's mind. At Crimson Lights, Harrison Abbott will enjoy a snack as he sits with Kyle and Summer on the patio. When Harrison asks for help with a school project, Summer will suggest she could come over for dinner tonight so they can all work together. Kyle will get a little uncomfortable, but he'll ultimately agree. In a moment alone with Summer, Kyle will admit Claire was trying to rope him into dinner with Victor tonight, but he won't mind missing that. Summer will note that Victor approved of her own relationship with Kyle, but Kyle will suggest Victor's view of him has changed a lot since then. After Kyle gushes over Claire being the most incredible woman he's ever been with, Summer will seem a little hurt. Kyle will promise he wasn't taking a jab at Summer and will be sorry since that came out wrong. After Harrison returns from the bakery case, he'll get excited over their family bonding time and will hug them both for being the best parents ever. At the Newman Ranch, Claire will push Victor to have dinner with her, but he'll object when she wants to include Kyle. Having dinner with Kyle and Claire would mean condoning their relationship, and Victor will remind Claire that he doesn't approve. Despite Claire's attempt to convince Victor that Kyle is right for her, he'll continue to trash her boyfriend. Once Kyle calls to put off their dinner because of Harrison's project and Summer's time with them, Claire will understand. After Victor gets updates on Kyle bailing for a night with Summer and Harrison, he'll seem intrigued. Victor will ultimately warn Claire that Summer is always going to come first for Kyle. Claire will point out that Summer and Kyle share a child, but Victor will act like it's more than that and won't want Claire to get her heart broken. Summer will eventually show up to check on Victor following his time in the hospital, so things will feel a tad tense with Claire. Once Claire assures Victor that she isn't giving up, she'll head to society and seek Victoria's help getting through to her grandpa. Back with Victor, he'll talk to Summer and play up the importance of Harrison feeling like his parents are connected. Victor will mention Chelsea moving in with Adam, so Summer will hope he's not implying she should move back in the Abbott mansion. Victor will assure Summer that he wouldn't wish that on anyone, but he'll still like the idea of Summer and Kyle having a strong bond. Summer will contend that she's found a nice balance with Kyle before ultimately heading out. Nick will catch the end of this conversation and question if Victor was encouraging Summer to get back together with Kyle. At the Abbott house, Harrison will recall how Summer and Kyle used to fight a lot, but now they don't. Although Harrison will worry his parents are just pretending to get along for his sake, Kyle will insist it's for real. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Summer will pursue a reunion with Kyle soon, so stay tuned to see if that'll mean bad news for Claire. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of February 10, 2025 are here. Next week, fans can expect Sally Spectra and Billy Abbott to head to Paris. Kyle Abbott has a surprise for Claire Grace Newman. Plus, Summer Newman will get jealous once again. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up next week in the CBS soap opera. Sally Spectra's Paris trip. Lie and R spoilers for the week of February 10 reveal that Billy and Sally will go to Paris. The couple has been talking about their trip for some time now. Finally, Billy and Sally will jet off to the City of Love. Sally will be mixing business and pleasure. However, Billy will make sure that it's not all work and no play for Sally. By the time the two get back to Genoa City, they could have a deepened relationship. Damian King developments. Next week, fans can expect Nate Hastings and Amy Lewis to deal with some surprises. After Holden's exposure, Nate and Amy could finally get the truth from the real Damian King. Kyle Abbott's surprise. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of February 10 reveal that Kyle will treat Claire like a princess on their first Valentine's Day together. This could have Claire falling even harder for Kyle. However, Summer seems poised to get jealous once again. It could also have Summer turning to Victor Newman for help with the Kyle/Claire situation. Week of February 10, 2025. Next week, Victor and Nikki Newman will really appreciate their time together after the Jordan and Ian Ward situations. While everyone seems to think Ian is dead, fans know he opened his eyes in the ambulance. So it seems the Newman family will enjoy a false sense of security, for now. Meanwhile, Jack Abbott might resist Diane Jenkins Abbott's redecorating ideas. While Jack wants to keep things the same, Diane's idea might not stray too far from that. It would be nice if Diane only added a few special touches without changing too much of the Abbott manse. Fans might also see Adam Newman and Chelsea Lawson get closer. While they moved in together as platonic co-parents, It seems that Connor Newman might get his family reunion wish soon. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Monday, February 10 shows that real Damian Kane recoils from his brother Nate Hastings and accuses him of running a scam. Meanwhile, Kyle Abbott has relationship blues in GC. Damian in no mood to play. After some tomfoolery with the imposter in Nathan's apartment, Damian agrees to visit him and Amy Lewis. Finally, the truth can come out, right? Hold on, we have a way to go yet. First, will Damian believe that Amy has leukemia and is nearing her expiration date? He is still so's about Nate's involvement in the ruse. Without any other clue to go on, Damian could think that ex-doctor Nate is involved in her treatment and has done something wrong. Will Damian want to welcome Nate? Then there's the case of Damian and Nate being half-brothers. After Damian rants, Amy has to clear up that she's the one who contacted Nate. When Nate has the nerve to call Damian bro and says he was initially sus of Amy, Damian lashes out, "Don't call him bro, and don't expect me to believe anything you say." He has a point. Damian is flooded with emotions, and Nate insists that the key thing is to reconnect with his mom Amy. Amy gets teary, tries to guilt the grown men, but it's hard for Damian to accept that Jackson, the man he thought was his father, wasn't his dad. Kyle and Claire issues. Elsewhere, Kyle must endure Claire Newman's thoughts of how to change Grandpa Victor Newman's opinion of their relationship. Explosive show spoilers tease that Victor is not the only one who might come between Claire. He and Summer Newman were once married and now she's rethinking their divorce. Look for a meetup between Summer, Kyle, and Harrison Abbott to stir up family feelings in Summer during the week of February 10 to 14. Will she tell Kyle and risk him telling Claire and looking foolish? Or will Claire overhear something and cool it with Kyle? The Young and the Restless spoilers for Monday, February 10 promise some major bombshells as Genoa City kicks off another week. There's a heated confrontation that turns ugly, while a little family comes together after a while to spend some time together, and there's trouble up ahead for one super couple. What's said to unravel during Monday's show? Time to find out. Tensions rise when the real Damian King agrees to meet. The Friday, February 7 episode ended on a crazy note when Damian King agreed to meet with Amy Lewis and Nate Hastings, and Monday's show picks up where things left off. It seems like Damian will head to Nate's apartment, and the three will have an intense discussion. Amy and Nate will tell him about Nate Hastings Sr. being his real father. However, Damian won't be able to shake the fact that Nate is pulling a scam in all this, even though he will likely recognize that his mom is very sick. It'll be a lot for Damian to take in, so it sounds like the entire encounter won't be a pleasant one. But where will these three parties move on from here? Harrison Abbott's family night. Across town, the Y and R preview video for the week of February 10 to 14 suggests that Harrison Abbott will get a family outing with parents Summer Newman and Kyle Abbott, and the little boy will be over the moon that he gets to spend time with both as a family. The clip shows Harrison, who seems very, very happy, noting that the night was just like when the three of them spent Halloween together, and he suggests that Kyle and Summer hug. Will Skiles' love for Harrison trigger a potential reunion? Trouble for Claire. A Skyle reunion would be the last thing Summer's cousin Claire Newman would want, as she's currently dating Kyle. Still, it seems like Claire will continue on her mission to change Victor Newman's mind about her romance with Kyle, as he doesn't approve. During the Monday, February 10 show, she'll have a scene with Victoria Newman as she asks her mom for advice on how to deal with the mustache's disdain. Will she be able to change Victor's mind? He's been very adamant about Claire staying away from Kyle, and he can be quite stubborn, so only time will tell. Are you excited about Monday's episode? Join the conversation below. Check out the Y and R on CBS Daily for your fill of Genoa City drama, and visit SOS often for all the best Young and the Restless updates, news, and spoilers. The Young and the Restless recap for Monday, February 10, reveals that Kyle Abbott will cancel on Claire Newman for Summer Newman, while Sharon Newman surprises Chelsea Lawson and Adam Newman. At home on Monday's I and R episode, Adam will complain about Connor Newman eating all his favorite chips, but Chelsea will admit she's the chip thief instead. Chelsea and Adam will share a fun moment, but things will get awkward when Sharon arrives to welcome her new neighbors. Sharon will hand over a quilted throw as a gift before admitting she wasn't sure whether to give one or two. Chelsea will make it clear that she's not a couple with Adam and that she only moved in for Connor's sake. Once Sharon insists she's doing better after her horrible ordeal, she'll praise Nick Newman for all his support. After Sharon leaves, Adam will chat with Chesley about how Sharon gushed over Nick. It'll leave Adam wondering if Sharon is developing real feelings for Nick again. At Society, Victoria Newman will admit to Nick that Victor Newman seems awfully morose after his close call with Ian Ward. However, Nick will make positive predictions about the future and try to ease Victoria's mind. At Crimson Lights, Harrison Abbott will enjoy a snack as he sits with Kyle and Summer on the patio. When Harrison asks for help with a school project, Summer will suggest she could come over for dinner tonight so they can all work together. Kyle will get a little uncomfortable, but he'll ultimately agree. In a moment alone with Summer, Kyle will admit Claire was trying to rope him into dinner with Victor tonight, but he won't mind missing that. Summer will note that Victor approved of her own relationship with Kyle, but Kyle will suggest Victor's view of him has changed a lot since then. After Kyle gushes over Claire being the most incredible woman he's ever been with, Summer will seem a little hurt. Kyle will promise he wasn't taking a jab at Summer and will be sorry since that came out wrong. After Harrison returns from the bakery case, he'll get excited over their family bonding time and will hug them both for being the best parents ever. At the Newman Ranch, Claire will push Victor to have dinner with her, but he'll object when she wants to include Kyle. Having dinner with Kyle and Claire would mean condoning their relationship, and Victor will remind Claire that he doesn't approve. Despite Claire's attempt to convince Victor that Kyle is right for her, he'll continue to trash her boyfriend. Once Kyle calls to put off their dinner because of Harrison's project and Summer's time with them, Claire will understand. After Victor gets updates on Kyle bailing for a night with Summer and Harrison, he'll seem intrigued. Victor will ultimately warn Claire that Summer is always going to come first for Kyle. Claire will point out that Summer and Kyle share a child, but Victor will act like it's more than that and won't want Claire to get her heart broken. Summer will eventually show up to check on Victor following his time in the hospital, so things will feel a tad tense with Claire. Once Claire assures Victor that she isn't giving up, she'll head to Society and seek Victoria's help getting through to her grandpa. Back with Victor, he'll talk to Summer and play up the importance of Harrison feeling like his parents are connected. Victor will mention Chelsea moving in with Adam, so Summer will hope he's not implying she should move back in the Abbott mansion. Victor will assure Summer that he wouldn't wish that on anyone, but he'll still like the idea of Summer and Kyle having a strong bond. Summer will contend that she's found a nice balance with Kyle before ultimately heading out. Nick will catch the end of this conversation and question if Victor was encouraging Summer to get back together with Kyle. At the Abbott house, Harrison will recall how Summer and Kyle used to fight a lot, but now they don't. Although Harrison will worry his parents are just pretending to get along for his sake, Kyle will insist it's for real. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Summer will pursue a reunion with Kyle soon, so stay tuned to see if that'll mean bad news for Claire. The Young and the Restless spoilers document that Diane Jenkins Abbott feels good about herself so much so that she wants to make changes in the Abbott household. Diane also bristled when her husband, the namesake of the patriarch, John Abbott, offered an optimistic comment about their son. Jack Abbott suggested to Claire Newman that her place at the family dinner table might become permanent. In contrast to Diane's latest lurch into Abbott family politics, Jack reinforced that he backs his often wandering brother, Billy Abbott. But is Jack's risk greater than Diane's? Maternal instincts and control of the Abbott household. Make no mistake, Diane loves her son Kyle. The sacrifice she was willing to make when faking her alliance with Victor Newman was bold, selfless, and successful. Her explanation of suffering from mental health issues enabled Kyle and Jack to accept the comeback to Genoa City, Wisconsin. Yes, she abandoned them years ago, but her desire to reconcile was sincere, and the healing that's taken place is proof that redemption and growth can happen. Jack is the head of the Abbott family based on his birth year. However, his marriage to Diane and Dina Murgeron's passing make Walter's character a matriarch within the family. Tracy Abbott holds rank over her. Ashley Abbott also does, even though John isn't her biological father. What about Billy Abbott? Billy made himself a wild card through a concerted effort across the decades. But the eternal loss he endured when losing Delia Abbott deserves enduring respect. Thompson's character is the prototypical lost soul who meanders through life with sporadic bursts of clarity. Jack is now recognizing one of those moments in agreeing to back him financially. The desire to create Abbott Communications isn't fancy. Instead, it builds off a generally positive experience with Restless style in daytime days gone by, and is supported by Billy's good feelings at Chancellor Winters. It's right and smart for Jack to provide family money for Billy's startup, but Big Brother should watch his younger sibling to ensure measured guidance. Jack Abbott is in a good place. Jack never would have predicted that he would be married and happy just a few short years ago. The marvelous Addams portrayed his returned mother in one of the best storylines seen on this show in many years. Dina encouraged her son to not give up on love. He didn't, and neither did Diane. Together, they fulfilled each other's pursued destinies. Each half of this currently solid couple needs to maintain their relentless commitment to each other. If that happens, Diane's trepidation about Claire and her desire to put her stamp on the Abbott mansion, building off her architectural background, will be balanced by Jack's need for family, relationships, and internal peace. This site is a leading source for everything linked to the young and the restless. Check back regularly for Y and R spoilers and news. The young and the restless spoilers imply that fans were shocked during the Monday, February 3 episode, when it was revealed that the Damian King everyone was introduced to is not, in fact, the real Damian King. Now viewers realize that Holden has been impersonating his Damian King this entire time. Actor Nathan Owens, who plays Holden, recently spoke with Soap Opera Digest about the huge plot twist and what's in store for his character. Nathan Owens, he knew the entire time. When Owens arrived at the Y and R set for his first day of filming, he knew there was a big twist on the horizon. While he initially auditioned for the role of Damian, when he got the job on the soap, the show told them they were going a different route with casting the character and presented another option, being Damian's right-hand man, which Owens was more than happy to accept. As he started preparing for the Holden role, Owens tells Asode, "It was clear that I was going to be disguised as, or acting as if I was Damian, for a bit, to kind of suss out the situation. And I was like, okay, here we go." Owens worked on becoming a character who wasn't the person people thought he was. The actor noted, "I thought a lot about, okay, what would this boss, Damian, be like? And how would I act as if I was Damian in front of Nate Hastings versus who I am as Holden? I was like, maybe I'll put on a little bit more of a swag, a bit more of a tone in my voice, stuff like that." Fans will get to see more of Holden in the weeks to come. During his Soda interview, Owens revealed that fans will see Holden come alive now as more of his and Damian's story and history is uncovered. Owen stated Holden is a very, very charismatic man. He is, I don't want to say a Lothario, but he's a charming dude, and he's very single. He added, he has quite the interest in alcohol laughs. He's definitely worldly and cultured, but there's a bit of a mysterious darkness to this character that I want to tap into even more as the story progresses. In addition, Owens tells Sazode that he's gotten very close to the real Damian, Jermaine Rivers. He stated that he wondered for a while who would play the character, and when Rivers entered the equation, the two hit it off right away. Owens also noted how he's able to breathe again now that the Damian reveal has taken place on the soap, as it was challenging to keep the secret, especially when talking to anyone about storylines. Still, what can fans expect from Holden in the future? Owens drops a clue by saying that his character has a past with a certain lady in town. Who could that be? Fans will have to tune in to find out. What are your thoughts regarding Holden? Share your thoughts below. Don't forget to tune into the Y&R on CBS Daily to catch all the drama, and check out this site regularly for the best Young and the Restless news, spoilers, and updates. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Claire Newman and Kyle Abbott could be gearing up for a doomed dinner with Victor Newman. Will this boyfriend acceptance plan bring disaster? In the February 6 episode, Nikki Newman urged Claire to sell Victor on how happy she is in her relationship with Kyle. As Claire sought advice, Nikki also suggested Claire should play up Kyle as a caring, protective partner. If Claire can convince Victor that Kyle shares some of the same qualities as him, she feels like she might be able to get her grandpa on board. Since Claire needs a chance to show Victor her current bliss and hype Kyle as the ideal boyfriend, she's hoping they can all have dinner together. That sounds like a disaster waiting to happen if you ask us. This could indeed be a doomed dinner if Kyle fails to impress Victor and pass whatever tests he might offer. One meal won't erase all Victor's loathing, since his disdain for Kyle is more about his Abbott family roots than anything else. At first, Kyle may try to be polite and respectful for Claire's sake, especially since it'd go better for everyone if Victor would back off. However, Victor is bound to get under Kyle's skin as this dinner progresses. That is, if this dinner even happens at all. It could be a challenge to get both Victor and Kyle to go through with this in the end. If the dinner does move forward like Claire wants, then it could backfire spectacularly. Victor could push one button too many for Kyle and launch a heated argument between them. One that leaves Victor even more determined to drive Claire and Kyle apart. Based on our Y&R predictions, Victor won't give up on pushing Claire down a different romantic path, so this dinner may not go according to plan. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Kyle and Victor will definitely have trouble getting along, so stay tuned for updates on the bad news that's brewing. We'll have other fantastic Young and the Restless spoilers, predictions, news, and updates to read up on, so make us your one-stop Y&R source. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Billy Abbott could face some mysterious sabotage. Will Billy blame Adam Newman when his new venture potentially takes a hit? I&R fans know Billy has latched onto the idea of starting Abbott Communications, so he's ready to rock and roll on this now. Billy has found a new sense of direction and is looking forward to creating something new with Jack Abbott's seed money. However, Billy is dashing off to Paris with Sally Spectra Wright when he's trying to get the ball rolling on all this. Phyllis Summers had some objections over that news in the February 7 episode, since she doesn't want Billy distracted. Could that be a hint about Billy eventually coming home to chaos? What if Abbott Communications faces some sabotage as Billy's trying to get it off the ground? Billy might return to Genoa City following a wonderful trip with Sally and find that an infuriating crisis is waiting for him. There could be some hurdles when it comes to Billy's grand plans for Abbott Communications that leave Billy smelling a saboteur. It's even possible that the deposit Jack made into Billy's account could disappear or something along those lines. Then again, maybe Billy will run into trouble in other ways if he tries to recruit talent that's already been turned against him. Regardless, Billy could easily hurl some accusations at Adam if things start going wrong. It could leave Billy thinking that Adam is jealous of his budding romance with Sally and taking his anger out on Abbott communications. Billy might suspect Adam is being petty and trying to set him up to fail, but maybe he could have the wrong Newman in the end. Victor Newman might be the one who sabotages Billy without Adam's knowledge, especially since this involves Jack's seed money. Adam might have reservations about tanking Jack's investment, but Victor certainly wouldn't. In fact, it would bring Victor double the pleasure to sink both Jack and Billy Boy. Since Victor and Jack are gearing up for another round of their feud, our predictions hint Billy's venture could get dragged into the drama. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Victor will make some strategy updates along the way and could potentially cause some issues for Billy. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Queen Diane Jenkins Abbott is marking the Abbott territory, so should Jack Abbott forbid her mansion refresh idea? Although Jack agreed to consider Diane's renovation plan in the end, he's definitely got some reservations. In some ways, we can understand why Diane still feels like an outsider with all those Abbott memories surrounding her. The place is crammed full of Abbott family history, so we can't entirely blame Diane for wanting to leave her mark on the place. Diane wants to see a little of herself in the Abbott home, which makes sense considering she's Jack's wife. In the grand scheme of things, it's perhaps not all that much to ask. At the same time, Diane's motives are rubbing some viewers the wrong way since it's like she's got something to prove. Jack is clearly uncomfortable with changing the family home he's loved for decades, so is Diane overstepping boundaries here? There's also the timing to consider since this is happening not too long after Victor Newman's ranch recreation gift for Nikki Newman. Diane denied that her idea had anything to do with that since she's proposing updates and not recreating some relic. Even so, maybe Diane feels the need to keep up with Victor and Nikki on some level. On social media, some My and Our fans are insisting that Jack needs to shut Diane down and keep the Abbott mansion the way it is. Others agree with Tracy Abbott and have to admit the place could use some sprucing up. There's a good chance Diane is going to get her way in the end, so the Abbott house could indeed look a tad different once she's through. Their relationship, marriage, and quickie divorce might have seemed like it happened many moons ago, but it's only been a few short years since General Hospital alum Chad Dwell and the Young and the Restless star Courtney Hope pulled the plug on their union. Here are just some tragic details about their time together. The tragic relationship of Chad Dwell and Courtney Hope. Back in December 2021, General Hospital star Chad Dwell and the Young and the Restless star Courtney Hope called it quits just 8 weeks after tying the knot in a most unusual wedding they called Till Death Do Us Part. The couple had been dating and cohabitating for 5 years before becoming engaged. Courtney and Chad began dating back in 2016, but only got engaged on Valentine's Day and after 5 years of dating. And while no one knows what happened behind closed doors for the couple, they've also made no indication that their marriage was in trouble. He said, "It's a whole new step and a lot of excitement for our future. I get to call her my wife. I'm excited for a lot. Our future kids, new adventures, a new home, and having my best friend to grow old with. It's a blast to be getting to spend forever with my best friend." In January 2022, Chad sat down with fellow General Hospital star Maurice Benard in the latest episode for his YouTube series, State of Mind. Chad began things by saying that he has nothing but love for Courtney, and that their breakup wasn't as dramatic as one would expect. What really happened between Chad and Courtney? Chad put it this way, "Out of respect to her, I'm not going to delve too much into all the stuff. All I'd say is she's an amazing person, she's an amazing woman, she's an amazing dog mom. It's a complicated situation, and it's not what anybody thinks. I'm not going to get into detail, but it's not what people think. There was nothing terrible that had happened that somebody did to anybody else. Yeah, we're still on good terms, and she's an amazing person in so many ways. All I have to say is positive things. He also said that the breakup was mutual, and that even though they did have a Malibu wedding back in October, they were never really officially married. He explained, "We didn't actually sign anything. We weren't really, married, really. It was amicable, and that's all I can really say, and we always want the best for each other." In the meantime, let us know what you think by leaving us a line with your thoughts in our comment section below. Also, don't forget to come back right here for all the latest news and updates on your favorite celebrities, along with the latest spoilers from The Bold and the Beautiful, The Young and the Restless, General Hospital, and Days of Our Lives. In a world where the echoes of past sins reverberate through every fractured relationship, Damian finally emerges, a living testament to the dark secrets that have long haunted his family. His eyes, hardened by years of abandonment and betrayal, are filled with the resolve to confront the one person he holds responsible for his shattered childhood, his mother, Amy. For years, whispers of Amy's unspeakable deeds had circulated through hushed conversations and scandalous headlines. Once a troubled woman struggling to survive, Amy had made a decision that would change everything. In the depths of despair, when hope seemed as distant as a fading star, she did the unthinkable. She sold her newborn son, Damian, to a wealthy family in exchange for money to keep herself afloat. The transaction, cold and calculated, left a mark on both their souls. After the sale, rather than facing the irreversible act of abandonment, Amy fabricated a tale of loss. She claimed that her beloved son had gone missing, painting herself as the anguished victim of fate. With faint tears and theatrical despair, she garnered sympathy from those around her, transforming herself into a figure of pity while the truth lay hidden in the shadows. Now, standing before a sea of accusatory stares and the heavy burden of truth, Damian's heart is ablaze with a torrent of conflicting emotions. He recalls with crystal clarity the moment of his abandonment, the vivid image of Amy's cold, disdainful eyes, the hollow expression that spoke of regret not for the loss of a child, but for the convenience it afforded her. That day, the bond of a mother's love was callously severed, leaving Damian with a profound sense of betrayal that has festered over the years. The memory is a scar that refuses to fade, a constant reminder of a love that was never truly nurtured. Yet, as fate would have it, the past is a relentless specter, and Amy's life has taken a dramatic turn in recent years. Through hardship and introspection, she has changed. The woman who once traded her son for survival has since been consumed by remorse. Driven by a desperate need for redemption, Amy now embarks on a quest to find the child she abandoned. Her transformation is as genuine as it is painful, and she clings to the hope that one day she might mend the irreparable damage done. However, the path to forgiveness is strewn with obstacles, and the question remains, can the wounds of the past ever truly heal? A dangerous bargain. Amidst this turbulent emotional landscape stands Nate, a mediator, a peacemaker, and perhaps the only beacon of hope capable of bridging the vast chasm between a resentful son and a repentant mother. Nate has long known the intricacies of familial betrayal and the power of forgiveness, yet even he is at a loss when faced with the raw intensity of Damian's anger and the haunting regret in Amy's eyes. Nate's heart is heavy with the responsibility of reconciling these two souls, each scared by their own demons. He wonders if, with enough time and compassion, he might help them find common ground. Can the delicate threads of love and forgiveness be rewoven after such a violent unraveling? As the drama unfolds, the specter of legal retribution looms large. Public opinion is a volatile force, swayed by media frenzy and the relentless scrutiny of those who thirst for justice. Many are quick to demand that Amy pay for her transgressions, and whispers grow louder that the police should finally intervene. Damian, his voice trembling with a mix of grief and fury, insists that Amy must be held accountable. Should the law decide to take a stand, her fate might be sealed by incarceration. But the situation is far from simple. Amy's transformation and sincere desire to make amends complicate the moral landscape. Is it just to condemn a woman who, after a lifetime of regret, is now fighting to reclaim the child she lost? Or is vengeance an inadequate substitute for the healing that only time, understanding, and forgiveness can bring? The moment of truth. The tension reaches a boiling point on a stormy evening when the rain mirrors the turbulent emotions roiling inside every heart affected by this saga. In a dimly lit room filled with hushed voices and the palpable weight of expectation, Damian confronts Amy face to face for the first time in years. His expression is one of cold determination as he recounts the traumatic memory, the look of disdain and cruelty etched into his mind every time he recalls the moment of his abandonment. "I remember your eyes, Mom," he says in a voice that trembles with both rage and sorrow. "I remember the moment you let me go. How could you do that to me?" Amy's eyes well up with tears, a mixture of regret and longing, as she listens to the bitter truth laid bare. "Damian," she pleads, her voice barely a whisper, "I was lost in a world I couldn't control. I made a terrible mistake, one that haunts me every single day. I never stopped loving you, and I never stopped hoping to find you and make things right." Her words, filled with genuine remorse, are met with silence. A silence that speaks volumes of the deep-seated pain and betrayal that now separate them. Nate, standing nearby, watches the exchange with a heavy heart. He knows that the road to reconciliation is fraught with difficulties, and that the wounds of the past will not heal overnight. "Both of you," Nate interjects softly, "have been through hell and back. But maybe, just maybe, there is a way forward. We can't change what happened, but we can work towards a future where forgiveness, however hard it may be, isn't out of reach." His words, though gentle, do little to bridge the vast emotional divide. Justice versus redemption. In the midst of this personal drama, legal authorities begin to take notice. The evidence of Amy's past misdeeds, the very act of selling her newborn, the elaborate web of lies spun in the aftermath, has not gone unnoticed. Rumors of a police investigation spread like wildfire. Advocates for justice, many emboldened by Damian's impassioned testimony, call for Amy's arrest. The case, laden with moral complexity and raw human emotion, now teeters on the brink of a legal showdown. Can the justice system, built on the delicate balance between punishment and redemption, fairly adjudicate a crime so deeply rooted in personal tragedy? Is it possible that Amy's sincere efforts at change might temper the harshness of the law? Or will the scales tip in favor of retribution, as demanded by a son whose heart remains shattered? The final question. As the days turn into weeks and the public watches with bated breath, the world around them becomes a battleground of conflicting loyalties and unresolved pain. The police, navigating the murky waters of evidence and emotion, deliberate over whether to act on Damian's demand. The community is divided. Some see Amy as a villain who must face the full brunt of the law, while others view her as a fallen soul deserving of compassion and a chance at redemption. Nate continues his tireless efforts to mediate, urging both sides to consider the possibility that healing might begin with understanding, even if forgiveness seems an impossibility in the present moment. In this charged atmosphere, every conversation, every whispered rumor, and every tear shed becomes a testament to the far-reaching consequences of choices made long ago. In the intricate and unforgiving world of high-stakes relationships, where every whispered secret has the power to shatter alliances, and every betrayal reverberates like a thunderclap, a new scandal was poised to unravel. At the center of this storm stood Kyle, a man whose heart, despite its hardened exterior, was held hostage by his greatest vulnerability, his son Harrison. At the periphery of this delicate balance lurked Summer, a cunning and relentless woman whose ambition and thirst for control propelled her to orchestrate a scheme that would forever alter the lives of everyone involved. Summer's relentless pursuit. Summer had long been recognized for her shrewd mind and unyielding determination. To those who knew her, she was no stranger to manipulation or playing the long game. Her desire was singular and fierce, to reclaim Kyle's affections and restore the closeness they once shared. Once united by passion and mutual understanding, their past had dissolved into a bittersweet memory. Yet Summer refused to let the embers of their history die quietly. With every calculated move and whispered insinuation, she sought to dismantle the walls that now separated them. Determined to regain Kyle's undivided attention, Summer was willing to cross any moral boundary. In her eyes, Kyle was not just a man, he was the prize she had lost. But in the intricate web she was weaving, one secret lay dormant, a secret that would become the fulcrum of a scandal too immense to ignore. Kyle's vulnerable heart and Harrison's reign. Kyle's life had become an endless cycle of battles between duty and desire. His love for Harrison was both his strength and his fatal flaw. Harrison wielded an unusual power over Kyle. Every relationship he had was at the mercy of the boy's whims. If Harrison did not like someone, they were swiftly cast aside, leaving behind a trail of broken bonds and shattered hopes. On the surface, Harrison exuded the charm and innocence of youth. Yet beneath that seemingly benign exterior lurked a complexity few could fathom. His capricious decisions dictated Kyle's life, rendering him emotionally captive to the boy's fleeting desires. The horrifying secret unearthed. In the labyrinth of deceit Summer had carefully constructed, fate intervened in the form of an accidental discovery, one that would set the stage for a cataclysmic revelation. While pursuing her covert schemes to lure Kyle back into her orbit, Summer stumbled upon evidence that hinted at a horrifying secret about Harrison's true identity. As she pored over confidential documents, hidden laboratory reports, and fragmented records of clandestine meetings, a chilling truth began to emerge. Harrison was not Kyle's biological son. He was, in fact, the son of Ashland, a revelation meticulously concealed from the world. This was not merely a case of mistaken paternity. The evidence pointed to deliberate tampering, a forged DNA result that had established Kyle as Harrison's legal father. For years, Kyle had nurtured the belief that his bond with Harrison was rooted in blood and destiny. Now that belief was under siege. Tara's calculated orchestration. As the layers of deception began to peel away, the mastermind behind the fraudulent paternity test emerged, Tara. A woman as enigmatic as she was determined, Tara had orchestrated this intricate ruse from the very beginning. Once, she and Kyle had shared a love that burned brightly, an affair that had ended without consequence until now. Tara's motivations were as complex as the plot itself. She foresaw Harrison's future as fraught with uncertainty and despair. To rescue him, she had aligned his fate with Kyle's, ensuring he had a stable guardian, even if it required forging a DNA test. Her plan was audacious and ruthless. But now, the truth was unraveling. Summer's moment of reckoning, armed with the damning evidence of the fraudulent DNA test, Summer now stood at a moral crossroads. Her initial intentions had been clear, to reclaim Kyle. But as she delved deeper into the conspiracy, she found herself entangled in a web of conflicting loyalties. Revealing Harrison's true paternity would shatter Kyle's perfect family life. But it would also expose a young boy to a painful truth beyond his control. Summer's plan was as daring as it was dangerous. She intended to publicly unveil the forged DNA results, exposing the lies that had entangled Kyle, Harrison, and Tara. The climactic confrontation. The day of reckoning arrived on a stormy afternoon. In a packed press conference, Summer stepped forward, eyes gleaming with a mixture of triumph and malice. Clutched in her hand were the documents that would change everything. For too long, she declared, the truth has been hidden behind a veneer of lies. Today, I reveal the facts that have been deliberately obscured. Gasps rippled through the audience as she displayed the forged lab reports. Across the room, Kyle's face drained of color. Years of trust crumbled under the weight of betrayal. Harrison, eyes wide with confusion and hurt, scanned the room, searching for an anchor in the sea of hostility. Kyle's heart-wrenching dilemma. For Kyle, the revelation was more than just a scandal, it was a personal affront. Harrison had always been his weakness, a constant reminder of the delicate balance between love and responsibility. Now, that love was tainted by deception. Would he cast aside the fabricated bonds that had defined his life? Or would he, in an act of profound forgiveness, embrace the innocent soul of Harrison, acknowledging that sometimes the most painful truths pave the way for redemption? The inevitable reckoning. The media frenzy was relentless. The public wavered between outrage and sympathy. Harrison, once a mischievous boy who ruled his father's heart, was now a tragic figure, a victim of adult machinations. Meanwhile, Summer faced mixed reactions. Some praised her for unveiling the truth. Others saw her as a manipulator, willing to destroy lives for her own gain. The question of forgiveness. Would Kyle be able to forgive and move forward? Or would the weight of deception prove too heavy to bear? In the quiet solitude of reflection, Kyle was haunted by memories of better times. Could he ever return to a state of innocence, or had the scars of betrayal marked him forever? The price of betrayal and the fate of a family. As the days passed, one undeniable truth emerged. In a world of high-stakes secrets, every action has a price. Tara's scheme, meant to protect one life, had sown ruin for many. And Summer's relentless ambition had unleashed consequences beyond her control. Now, Kyle stood at a final crossroads. Would he embrace the truth and heal, or retreat into denial, sacrificing the innocence of a young life for his pride? The answer remained uncertain, but one thing was clear: in the world of glamour and guile, where every whispered secret carries the potential for devastation, the truth always has a way of emerging from the shadows. Even the most cunning of schemes eventually exact their own price. And for Summer, the woman who had manipulated fate with ruthless ambition, there could be no escaping the inevitable reckoning. The young and the restless spoilers and updates pose a question: is Ian Ward really leaving the show for good? That's what viewers are wondering when a shocking sight of Ian seemingly rising from the dead in the ambulance took place on a recent episode.